And you're going to find out that she's outrageously attracted to you afterwards. And it's going to, I hate to say this, ladies, it's going to make you kind of lose respect for women a little bit.
Miguel and Cor, have you ever had a girl tell you those words? Say, like, you're going to be a great boyfriend, husband for some lucky gal in the future. It's just not me because I love you, but I'm not in love with you.
Happens all the time.
Oh. See, that hurts.
Miguel, have you guys ever had that? Have you been LJBF'd, let's just be friends?
Yes. When I worked at that strip club, that happened to me all the time. That's what the lesson I needed to learn. When I was in the military, when I first joined the military, in my early 20s, I just didn't understand. I was like, I'm good. I'm better than your boyfriend. Why don't you choose me? I just remember there's this one dude. He was on The Bachelorette. We were in college together. We were freshmen together. And this guy was so good looking that we would walk into rooms and girls would like literally hand me their camera to take a picture of the two of them together and like not even acknowledge that I was there, right? This guy's
you were the guy working at CBS?
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I just remember like watching this thing and just being like, but I would be a better boyfriend to you than him. Like I remember one time we went out with like these 3 girls and there was one I told him I like. I was like, dude, I like that girl, blah, 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 whatever. And then I drive back and then he drives back and all 3 girls are in bed with him. Like it was just like that. It was like I needed to see that. I was 21, 22 years old and I needed to see that several times to understand there is a disparity in the way women see men and it is not based on their intent. It is based on the man's status and relative attractiveness to that particular woman. And you as a man must do shit to be more attractive because there's no fake destiny or karma. You are going to be a bad motherfucker and she's going to be attracted to you or you're not. Period. That's the way it works. There are no special snowflakes. You will spend your whole life thinking that some special person is going to fall into your lap while you're sitting there playing Grand Theft Auto 6 in your basement while masturbating. This shit is never going to happen. You have to work for it. And I watched time after time these dudes get chosen over me when I was in college over and over again. I remember there was the prettiest girl at the strip club I worked at. And I remember her telling me about the other DJ who was a piece of trash. She couldn't stand this guy. I remember right now. Her name was Joy. His name was Ryan. She kept saying, Joy was like, I hate this guy. This guy's a piece of shit. I can't believe it. And then she comes into work one day. She comes into work one day. She's like sitting on my lap and she goes, oh yeah, I left my husband. Like, you left your husband? I was like, yeah, I'm moving in with Ryan.
Oh my God.
And
it was like
a challenge.
And it was like at first it hurt and then it was like, yes. And like it was so liberating to understand Disney was lying to me. The church I love the church. I'm a Protestant. The church was lying to me.
Most Disney movies start with tragedies anyway.
Yeah, but it's like they like what I was supposed to believe.
Died, Dumbo
what I was supposed to believe the way the world worked is I was good to women and they were good back to me and they liked me because of my virtue. It wasn't true.
How old were you when you solved the riddle of woman?
I would say 2007. So I would have been 30. 29, 30. Yeah. After
still working on it.
So let me tell you what happened.
Okay.
I was 29. My dad was killed by a drunk driver in 06. And then 6 weeks later, I got sent to the Middle East. And while I was there, my girlfriend left me. And she left me for a Marine. I remember I was seeing pictures of, we just started, remember, 05, right? So I'm watching on Facebook, or MySpace, I'm watching pictures of her at the Ark of Cabo San Lucas with this other jacked up Marine who's got pimples all over his body because he's taking roids. And I'm like in the military and I'm watching, well, there's no high speed internet back then. So I'm like looking at these photos and like my dad just died and I'm like, wow, like the world isn't fair. And what happens, and when I'm not there, no one remembers me. I'm just gone. No one cared. Like I'm not special. Like I remember like being there. I read The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And I remember realizing I'm really not special. Like there's a few, if I died, there's maybe 6 people who would cry for 3 weeks and then they would just kind of move on. That's it. I'm not that special.
One of them.
Yes. And that's it. That's what I realized. That's what I realized. 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks, maybe.
Yeah. 4. I'll give you 4.
But that's what when I came to that realization, it was so liberating because it meant I could do anything I wanted and no one cared. And that's when I was totally free. And that's when I realized what my boundaries were. And I just realized that when I got to that place and I realized that other people's opinion didn't matter, my opinion, this is just my perspective, women were so much more attracted to me after that. Once they saw that, it was like this switch that it flipped. It took me a little longer because the U.S. military kind of sheltered me a little bit. But when I got to that place, that's when I solved women. The other reason why is a guy named Max Smith. He was just here in Vegas.
And insecurity doesn't look good on anybody.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I watched these. So there was this thing where there was a point in my life where there were pickup artists and club promoters, right? And I would watch the pickup artists say all these things that they would do to be good with women, and then I'd go out with them, and then of course none of it was true. None of it. Like the worst people I've ever seen with women in my life are pickup coaches. And then there was the club promoters, and these guys would effortlessly send out a group text and have 70 girls show up, and they had like 6 girlfriends at the same time. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to watch what these guys do. I'm going to stop listening to what these guys do. And that's when I started only paying it. Remember, rule number one, I don't listen to the words. I only pay attention to people's actions. When I only looked, like, success leaves clues. When I only looked for people who were successful at X, Y, or Z, this is when I became financially successful. This is when I got in better shape. And when I was more attractive to women, when I did that thing, when I took a scientific approach to solving these problems, and I didn't let my emotions come into it at all. And let me tell you something, for the guys who are listening to this right now, you're going to do what I say. You're going to set boundaries. A woman's going to say something, and she's going to cry to try to get her way, and you'll be like, no, I'm not going to change my mind on this. And you're going to find out that she's outrageously attracted to you afterwards. And it's going to, I hate to say this, ladies, it's going to make you kind of lose respect for women a little bit. You're going to be like, all the shit that I was told didn't work. And then I was kind of mean to her, and now she likes me. And you're like, this is all I had to do the whole time? Bro, this is it? This is it? And it's really disappointing because you're like, I wanted this fulfilling connection with this woman. I was this great guy when I was 26, 27, 28. I would have been this incredible boyfriend to all these women. And then I realized, no, I can't do that. And when I stopped doing it, then women wanted to be with me.
Then they want you.
What a conundrum.
Yes.
And then, oh my God. And then I get in better shape and I start making a bunch of money. And then all of a sudden it's like, and then I'm 45 and I'm competing with guys who look like Tekashi 6ix9ine, Post Malone, and Machine Gun Kelly. Like that's my competition. Those guys, like it's crazy. I don't have any competition.
They eat a Twinkie.
And that's it. That's essentially.
Even I could beat out Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah, that's where we are now. So to answer your question, it wasn't anything. It is the total and complete recognition that you as a man are not special and your value is only based on your performance. When you come to that realization, that's when you solve women.
The riddle of women, solved by Mike
No one's ever
Sartain.
gonna
Thank you very
solve
much.
women.
Ladies, I'll just finish up here. Are there guys who were in the friend zone that you would thought would make good boyfriends for someone else?
Oh, absolutely.
Or husbands?
I have so many friends now that are great men, just not the man for me. So, I mean, they have great virtues and great personalities. They're just not my virtues or my personalities that I look for. They have like different lifestyles that I might not be into. Doesn't mean I don't accept them as a friend. I just won't accept them as a partner.
I actually know, confirmed that 2 of them actually are making great husbands to their.
Oh, they're already married.
Yes,
Okay.
It was just not meant to be.
Did
But
you
it also,
tell them that?
No, when we started, we started as friends, and then I fell in love kind of with because I was just used to be around this person, and it happened twice to me in life, and it was never like real love. It was never real passion. It was friends. But then I kind of gave in, and I just dated them because they were nice to me, and then I saw it doesn't. It was not cool. It was just not giving me that
Doesn't
fire.
fuel your soul.
Yeah, it didn't give me the fire, and then I just said, "Can we just stay friends? Like I don't want to lose you as a person,
Friend
but
zone.
I also cannot be with you." So again friend zone them. Now of course we didn't stay friends, and then now I don't know how many years later I know that actually they're married with someone else.
Someone call you the Russian Lana Rhodes. I don't know what that means.
Oh,
The
stop.
Russian?
Lana Rhodes.
What-
Yeah,
what-
she's
but-
Croatian. You guys got it wrong. She's Croatian.
All right. Do you think that any of those guys that you friend zoned would be good? Like, would they be boyfriend, husband material?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Have you told them that?
Absolutely. That's like my famous line when
Oh,
I break up
that's
with
how you-
somebody.
you let 'em down?
When I break up with somebody.
Stripper Game 101.
I'm sure there'll be. Okay. So now the reason I
You're such a cute guy.
The reason
Come up
I-
to VIP with me.
the reason I bring this up is to highlight once again that there's the guys you want to fuck and there's the guys you want to marry. You just don't want to marry those guys.
I like the nerdy
The boyfriend
guys, though.
material.
Maybe like
You'll
nerdy
tell
guys.
that guy, hey, you're going to make a
with a
great
nerd.
boyfriend,
He's a biochemist.
husband for someone else, just not
But he's
me.
also jacked.
So when I asked you guys
Vegas.
if you can give me the difference between the guy who you're the one night stand guy versus the guy who is like the good dad, might be a parent at some point, you're just the guy who is hot. I asked you all this. Was he exciting? Everyone at this table said yes, he was exciting. And whether it was like codependent or it was a bad, unhealthy situation, it still didn't matter because there was that dopamine hit that kept coming. Because that was the kind of guy who has sex in the foam cannon party on Cancun on spring break, yada yada yada. So those are that's why I kept asking, like, can you give me the definition? Everybody wants to say it's vibes. It's we're feeling emotions to each other. I don't know, Brazilian power crystals and shit like that. But like the whole thing is, there's an actual characteristic. There is an archetype of the guy who gets it and he doesn't have to wait for it, and an archetype for the guy who's like, oh, you're gonna make a good husband for another woman at some point in your life.
I don't don't know. I like the nerds. Like, I'm turned off by the guys that are like, oh, macho man, this and that. Like, I'm
I
opposite.
think they're too pretty.
Did you bang?
Yeah.
Did you bang the nerd on the second date, third date? Or did you make
Well,
him
she
wait?
married him after a week.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but she's legally separated
Yes.
right now.
I just, like, I like the nerdy
talking to
guys.
the mic.
I like the nerdy guys because I don't know, something about a man being like shy around you is like very like
Endearing.
attractive and very like I'm like ooh, like I'm like I
See,
can
this
teach
is a beautiful
him.
example. Everything that she's saying right now, I don't find attractive,
Yeah.
but she does. So
All
that
right.
doesn't
I do.
mean
All
that
right,
he's a
here,
nerd.
now